giving your attendance, not right now. Once I'll tell you to put your attendance, at that moment only you are supposed to do it. Okay, so without wasting much more time in the taking the attendance manually, it is better you people do it by your own by putting your attendance in the chat box. You can start your putting your attendance, and here I'll start sharing my screen so that we will be starting the things. Okay, it's already 11 o'clock, 10:57. Okay. uh, it is, instead of giving your roll numbers, you are supposed to put your USN. Okay, those who are giving the roll numbers, kindly make sure that you will be writing your USN. Before going ahead, please tell me, is there any doubts in the previous classes? Because if there is any doubt, let me know so that I'll take those things. And today onwards, we'll be going into the depth of each and every concept what we have touched so far. Okay, so if you have felt any doubts in any of the topic which we have covered in the previous 2 to 3 classes, you can ask me. Yeah, fine. So I think the screen is visible. Here we have come up with the trees. We have already see about the cues. Here we will be talking about the trees. Trees can be defined as a finite set of data items. These data items will be called as a nodes. Okay. Now the nodes we have seen, generally when we see about the linked list, it has a node will have a two entry or two parts. One is the data field, another is your pointer field. In tree also, there it is a collection of different nodes. Each and every node will hold some information and some part which will connect to the next nodes. Okay, again, it can be implemented using a linked list. We'll be seeing when we discuss in the module 3 and module 4. Okay, it is a non-linear data type of data structure in which your data items are arranged in a, maybe in a sequence or something. What was that sequence we'll be discussing once we'll start with the trees. It actually represents the hierarchical relationship between the various elements. It is not in linear fashion. It will explain the hierarchical relationship between the various elements. Now you may say, so what is let us see one example over here. There's a special item, data item at the top of hierarchy called as a root of the tree. The remaining data items are partitioned into number of mutual exclusive subset, each of which itself is a tree. Okay, I'll directly come to this part. This is your actual, I can say, it's root. After this, there are the uh, other roots which are working under the root node. Okay, these are the different nodes. Under this, these are the different nodes. So this structure organizes data into branches which relate the information. If you are not understanding, I'll take one screen and I'll explain. Okay, please try to understand, guys. I'll go with the white screen. Okay, now I'll ask you one question. If you consider a college example, so who is at the highest position in the college? I want the answer from yourself. Say if you consider Jain College, then inside Jain there is a CSE department. Inside CSE department there are the different classroom along with their respective divisions or in say, semester wise. So in that way, can you give me the hierarchical representation of this? Yeah, who will be the uh first person? Can you tell me at the
At the
At the top, who will be
At the
there?
top, who will be there? Director.
Very good. So
Very
I
good. So I
will say director is at the top. Okay. Then this is the one person who is giving all the instruction. Just below this, who will be there? The next
the
person.
next person. Respective
Pratik.
HOD.
Sorry.
Sorry? Respective HOD, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I
Okay,
will
so
say
I will
here
say here
HODs.
HODs.
Okay. Okay. Then after below this HODs, who will be there? Just if you consider our example related with the computer science department.
Lecturers.
Staff members.
Staff member, let us assume here it has one HOD. This will be the another HOD for another subject, another department HOD. Say I'll consider HOD 1 of one department, HOD 2 maybe. So what I'll do, infinity, and this is HOD n. HOD n. In the same fashion, here there will be n number of staff. So I will consider S1 dash 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 SN. Let us assume SN. Okay, these are the number staff members. Along with the every staff, there will be say couple of or n number of students also, STD. Okay, now this kind of structure where you will be finding this is the topmost. We used to call this as a root node. Okay, this is a nodes. These all elements are represented with the node structure. Okay, every node will have a their they are connected with the different node. But if you are able to see, there is all the nodes are not connected with each and every other node. This HOD1 is connected with this S1 and SN, but this S1 is not been connected. Let me use the highlighter. This S1 is not been connected this HOD2. Okay, so there is a relationship between each and every node with each with the other node. It is not they are all are getting connected. This S1 is having relation with this HOD1. That's it. Okay, this is getting connected with this. Okay, and if you see this structure is called as a tree like structure. अगर मैं इसको उल्टे तरीके से देखूं, आपको पूरा का पूरा ट्री स्ट्रक्चर दिखेगा. वी विल बी कॉलिंग इट एज अ tree where it will have a root nodes. This is what our root node. Okay, root node because it is the start. Okay, it is the start. And the nodes, these are the nodes which are generating some different nodes. This HOD1 is generating S1 to SN. Maybe the same in the same fashion these will also generate. At the last, the nodes which are not generating any other nodes, they are called as the leaves. They are called as the leaves. We'll be talking about those things when we in detail will be discussing about this. Okay, so this is actually a tree structure which is uh, called as a hierarchical structure, just like here in this example I'm explaining. This is an employee will have a certain information that has to be stored, as like social security number is which is nothing but your Aadhaar number. Okay, in the US they will be calling it as a social security number. We are in India, we are calling it as a Aadhaar number. The name has a three fields: last name, first name, and middle name. Address, it may be having a street and then area, the age, salary, and dependents. Okay, so all these is nothing but a example for a tree like structure. So when you want to store certain data, we have seen we can use array, we can use structure in the same fashion. When there is a division of like this name, only the name has three different fields, address has two different fields, in that also area has three different fields, has to be stored. So in this way we will be organizing the data in tree structure manner. So this is how you should understand when and where you are going to use what kind of data structure. Okay, so actually if you see, it will be looking like this. At a zeroth level you will find employee. At the second level you will find social security number, name. Inside the name, this is a third layer. or level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. In the level 2 address field, again there is a level 3 street and area, but inside this area there is the three fields are defined, that is city, state, and zip. It is at level 4. Okay, so this is how you are going to structure your database. So when you require, you will be using the tree structure, and believe me, in most of the application you have to use tree. The same way, the last and important one, which we'll be discussing in the module 4 and 5, those are our graph. Actually, graph is a mathematical, again it is a non-linear data structure. It is capable of representing many kind of physical structures. You already are using a lot of the applications, just like your to get the Google map. It is also one of the application where graph is being used. It has found many application in geography, chemistry, engineering sciences, etc. What is a graph, by the way, if you have learned in your mathematics in graph theory? Okay, discrete mathematics and graph theory, if you have not learned, and in the third semester you have a subject, DMGT we used to call it as. A graph which has two things, vertices and edges. So generally graph is represented with V comma E, set of vertices and set of edges. An edge connects a pair of vertices and many have weights such as length, cost, and another measuring instruments for according the graph. These vertices on the graph are shown as a point, or maybe the circles, and edges are shown as arcs on line segment. Okay, now these are the certain examples of the graph which you have learned. Anyway, this is just an, I'm giving you introduction. When we will be using it, we will touch each and every concept. The first one is a directed one. You can see there is directions, and on this is what the cost we used to say. So vertices 1 is connected to the vertices 2 over the cost 10. Vertices 1 is connected to vertices 3 on the cost 15. And this is how this is a graph, directed graph. This is undirected graph. It means there is a relation between V1 is connected to V2. In the same fashion, V2 is also getting connected to V1. There is, when there is no directions given, it means there is a both directions possible. These are these certain types of graphs that we will be discussing: directed graph, undirected, simple graph, weighted graph, connected graph, and non-connected graph. So this is how we will be discussing about the graph. But today's agenda that we will be discussing is, uh, will be starting discussing with a very important other concept of um, our arrays. What we will be seeing in arrays, uh, the representation of arrays, one dimensional array, then we'll be seeing two dimensional array. The application of arrays, just like your symbol manipulation, people used to call it the matrix representation of polynomial equation. We'll be seeing sparse matrix here, and sparse maximum is its representation. Along with this application of arrays, definitely you will be getting one question of 8 marks over polynomial equation, or sparse matrix. One question is confirmed. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the one dimensional array first. So it is a simplest data structure that makes use of the computed address to locate its elements as the one dimensional array or vector. It is the simplest data structure. Number of memory location is sequentially allocated to the vector. A vector size is fixed and therefore requires a fixed number of memory location. Vector A with the subscript lower bound of 1 is represented as below. Now let us assume how this will be useful. With this, just before this, I'll use my screen, try to understand how we are going to use. I'll use a felt tip pen. See here, guys, how we are going to say, if I consider maybe int. say array of, how we are going to declare like this, right? Say let us do, I'm considering 5. Now what happen at the background if I do this much? So can you people tell me what happen at the background if I write this much? Int a of 5. What is the importance of this square bracket?
The size.
Stores the size of the array.
Size of the array. Now what happens here, let us assume it is my memory representation. Okay, it's a sequential memory location. Okay, so it creates, let us assume it's a, if I consider its memory address is starting with the 2000. Okay, now this is the block which starts with the 2000, and here there are the 5 blocks. So what I'll be doing, I'll be making 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We know how we are going to access them using the index value. So this is my index 0, and initially arrays index always starts with the 1 because of the base address. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now what is the address of this a of 0? If I want to access, this is nothing but a of 0, right? Subscript 0, subscript 1, subscript 2, subscript 3, and subscript 4. What is the address of this? Can you people tell me?
1.
Address 1, huh?
A of 0.
Sorry,
A of 0.
I'm not going to access it, my dear students. I'm saying what is,
2000.
see, I'll tell
See,
you.
I'll tell you.
If I am considering a simple variable int b, okay, which is going to hold say 5 value. Now in the memory, what happens, there will be a memory location will be created for b to hold the value 5. Let us assume it is the memory address of 1050. The 10 b will be this is what your b. Okay, its address is 1050 to 1050. It is an integer. How many bytes it will consume? It will consume
4 by
4 bytes.
4.
So one, it starts with 1050, next will be 51, next will be 52, and last will be 53. 1053. So how much? See, if you start counting 10501, 1 byte space, 51 2 bytes, 52 and 53. This is 4 bytes of data. So starting from 1050 to 1053, this total 4 bytes of data will be dedicatedly used for to store the value 5 in the memory location. In the same fashion, can you tell me this 2002 how much byte it will take? What is the address? 2002,
2003.
2004.
2004.
2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
Yes.
4 bytes of data. The last address is 2003. For the next a of 1, it starts with the 2004. 2004, 5, 6, 7. It will finish at 2007. So address location for a of 0 will start from 2000 to 2003. Address location a of 1 will start from 2004 to 2007, and 2008 to 2011 will be the address location for a of 2, and it will start from 12 for the address location 3. So it is 15 to, and it starts with the 60 and it ends with 90. Now can you tell me how you the total size, the total number of memories required to store int a of 5 is how much? In
20.
last class you have already 20 bytes of data. How it is being stored we have already explained. So it requires memory locations, and how these memory locations are useful. And in the arrays, when we talk about the arrays a of say 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so if I start with the 2000, so this will be 3 and 4, and I hope you understood it is ending with 2019. Okay, so 2019. So total memory space that is going to be reserved is how much byte of data, class? It is how much of byte of data? If I say int a of 5, how much bytes of data you have reserved here?
20.
Yeah, initially also we have discussed when we was talking about this, what we have said, sir, integer, if you're considering it is going to consume, it is going to consume 4 bytes of data for each and every elements. We are going to store 5 elements, so 4 into 5, it is going to require 20 bytes of data. So here also we are explaining it. This is how it is 20 bytes of data which is going to be stored, right? I hope you understood. My question is now, if I wanted to access, let us assume if I wanted to access this this element, so how we will be getting the address of this directly? Can you tell me now? If I wanted to access this, what is the address I need to access? See, you can say, sir, we can directly access is using a of 3, but what is the address of that you have to access? What is the address? How will you calculating that? As of now, what I have said it to you, it is 442. It goes to say 4 7. It starts with the 8. 8 to it goes with the 11. So it starts with the 12. 12 to it goes to 15. It starts with the 16. So to access this, we require the A of, that is the address is 2012. This A of 3 is stored at memory location 2012. Yes or no, guys? Just tell me this first, because today we will be dealing with in depth concept of the arrays, how the elements are stored, how we are going to traverse them, how we are going to access them, manipulate and get the answers. Lot of the stuffs we are going to do with the arrays today. Okay, so what is the address that A of 3 is been stored in memory location? It is 2012. It is 2012. How we have calculated that? So there is a one concept of base address, base address, base address. uh, Please excuse me about my writing, the handwrites and the drawings, graph, whatever it may be. Okay, and the base address is a starting address of any of the memory. So here is starting address for this is our 2000. It is 2000. Okay, this is a base address. So I'll take you to that directly how we are going to get this. So the formula for this is your base address plus the index that you are going to use. So the index into the size of एलिमेंट. कौन से एलिमेंट आप इसमें स्टोर करने वाले हो? कौन से एलिमेंट स्टोर कर रहे हो आप इसमें? इंटीजर. Yes, guys, we're going to store the integer. Now let me see what is the base address for this. It is 2000. Okay, I'll give the direct explanation. Plus, what is the index value that you are going to use? 3 into what is the size of this integer? What is the size of integer?
4 bytes.
4. So can you calculate this now? This is 2000 plus 3 4s are 12. So what is the total answer? 2012. Are we getting the address where the A of 3 is being stored? Yes or no? Students, are you able to get this formula now? Because this is what I'll be explaining here. See, in vector A with a subscript lower bound of 1 is represented as below. Let us assume this is an example. Here I am considering a vertical arrow, vertical array. Okay, array name is A. Now this is L of 0. This L0 is the address of the first word allocated to the first element. In the previous case, when I have talked about the uh, uh, L0 is nothing but your base address, which is address of the first word. First word. Okay, first word. I'll tell you how it is. Here it is the first word. In our case, the first word was 2000. So it is the L0 is the address of the allocated first word allocated. Now C, this is also important. Now this C word is the size of each element of a node. Each element of a node, in the sense, it is a collection of integer elements. So what is the size of C? Is 4. We can understand. Now see here. Now this is my I minus 1. If I want to get this address of this, how the address of element AI is calculated with this formula. Location of AI is L0 plus C into I minus 1. I minus 1. Why I'm saying, if you want to get the fourth element, 4 minus 1 is 3. So A of 3. That is why it is I minus 1. Okay. Here, if you see, I have considered third because that was the fourth element in my array. So there I have considered minus 1. So A of 3 we have calculated, right? For fourth. This is what the uh, formula to get the address. Next, let's consider the more general case. This is how you are going to calculate the formula. That's how you will be calculating the one dimensional array, its memory space and its usage also. Now in case of two dimensional array, now people will get confused between the one dimensional and two dimensional arrays. More question will be asked on two dimensional arrays. They will be giving you one two dimensional array and they'll be asking what is address of a of 01, kind of that. Are also called as a table or matrix. We have already explained how it is going to be table or matrix. Okay. Did we talk about the two dimensional array in previous class? About the two dimensional array? Whether we have discussed about two dimensional array?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. In the two dimensional array, if we have discussed, very good. Two dimensional array have two subscripts. So now this is a very important part that we'll be discussing in today's class. Those are column measure order matrix and row measure order matrix. CMO and RMO. In short form, they are called as CMO, column measure order matrix, or RMO, row measure order matrix. Here in the computer exams, when the question will be asked on the arrays, you can expect a question about CMO and RMO. So column measure order matrix is a two-dimensional array in which elements are stored in a by by column. Okay, generally what the representation I have shown you earlier, it was a column measure order matrix. Okay, uh, just like this, you can see in column measure order matrix, if you want to store the elements A B C D in this format, what I'll be doing, I'll first fix get the first column first. Okay, like this, all the elements I'll be storing in column. If the first column is completely filled, then go to the second column. So this is column 1. If it is get filled, I'll go with the column 2. If it fills, then go 3 and go 4. Okay, column measure order. The previously what we have worked is a row measure order. How we used to store the elements, let us assume, I'll explain you here. If I want to use the row measure order like this, what we used to do, we used to say, okay, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, okay, in this is for one dimensional. If it is a two dimensional array, it is also called as a tabular structure. Let us assume we will create one 2 by 3 array. So two, in which two rows are there and three columns are there. Let us assume, guys, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3 matrix. How the elements are stored in this, it will be stored as 1 2 3 in the row measure order. This is R M O, row measure order. We will be first filling a complete row. This is a row. These are the columns: 1 2 3 4 5 6. if int a of 2, here I'm going to explain about the RMA and CMO, how they are differ. If I consider two-dimensional matrix where int a of 2 of 3, so obviously how many elements will be stored in this array? It will be 6. So let us assume I'm initializing that a of 2 3 as a 1 2 3 4 5 6 in RMO, in the row measure order. What happens here? We will be storing the data in row wise, in the sense first we will fill the row 0 first, then we are moving with the second row. Just like as you people are writing in your notebook, as you finish the first line, the content, then you will be moving to the second line. In the same fashion, the storage is done in the row measure order. So it will first finish the row 0, then it will come to the next row. So here, how is this? 1 will be stored. This is what this location is called as a of 0 0, a of 0 1, a of 0 2. In this fashion, a of 1 0, a of 1 1, and a of 1 2. Right, the 1 will be stored at a of 0, 2 will be stored at a of 0 1, 3 will be stored at a of 0 2, 4 will be stored at a of 1 0, because the row 0 is been completely filled. Okay, row 1 here, row 1, this 5 will be stored at a of 1 1, and 6 will be stored at a of 1 2. Okay class, now the memory location, the main important thing is to understand this, which element is stored at which memory location. That's how the structures, how we have placed them. So if I ask you, this R0, that is A of 0 0 is situated at the local address. There, this is, let us assume this is the base address 2000 I'm considering. Okay, so what is the memory location that it will be there? 2000 to 2003. This will start from the 2004 to 2007. This will start, the A of 02 will start a 2008 2011. This A of 10 will start from 2012 to 2015. This A of 11 will start 2016 2019, and this A of 12 will start from 2020 to 2023. Like this, we'll be getting total 24 bytes of data. I think this is quite clear for everybody about the row measure order. Any doubts in this class?
No, sir.
Okay. About the column measure order, what we will be doing, we will be again creating the same one. Okay, so in this it will be again 2 by 3 only. So 2 rows and 3 column, 2 rows and 3 columns I'll be doing. But the the values will be stored like this: 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. This is my column 0, column 1, column 2. This is my row 0, row 1. Okay, now this is 0 zeroth element, this is 0 1 element, 0 2 element, this is 1 0 1 1 and 1 2. Now we'll be talking about its memory location. Okay, so now please try to understand, if my local address is, again I'm considering it is 2000. Okay, so the how the values will be stored, it will be stored as first column. So this one will be stored as 2000, this 2 will be stored as 2004, this 3 will be stored as 2008,